a tech voc elective, for example, where the school doesn't have a teacher to teach that kind of elective. So, ngayon, pag halimbawa po, 36 yung academic electives, considering all of this data that schools will have, the 36 could be trimmed down to, let's say, 15, okay, or 10. Okay? And that limits the choices. There are still choices, but that limits the choices. Now, we're thinking of other strategies so that students will have more choices. Like, for example, schools that are close to other schools offering electives that can't be offered in one school. Ito yung sharing of resources. So pwede po, tinitingnan po namin yung possibility ng cross-enrollment, which is a very, very big possibility na kaya nating gawin, that students can cross-enroll in a nearby school. We're also looking at vouchers for certain courses only. So, if there are nearby TVIs, technical vocational institutions, or private schools that offer certain tech pro electives, for example, then we're looking at providing a voucher only for that certain elective for a student. The other option, with the help of LGUs or with MOOE from DepEd, is the provision of transportation for students to be able to go to schools where some electives are offered. Kasi kahit po sa ibang, kahit nasa highly developed countries, they can't offer all the menu of electives. So they also do this resource sharing. Binabas din po nila yung mga estudyante nila, nagkakaroon din ng cross-enrollment sa mga schools para mabigyan ng mas maraming options ang mga bata. So those are what we're planning to do, Senator.
Well, you said again, no, I on paper, the elective looks like a good proposition, but for me, at the end of the day, what's very important when they graduate is they're college ready, and that ties up earlier to what you said, that to become college ready, it depends on what the electives. But if the electives are not present because of specialization constraint, because of budgetary constraint, then it affects the college readiness of the student. So my point of the matter there is, it should be designed in a way that whatever electives they get, because the electives are not in the control of the student, the electives are in the control of the principal. And the principal is under the control of resources and specialization, no? So, which is a wild card in their locality. Especially for small school. Kanina pinakita ni Carol in slide, that slide with small schools, 70% are small schools. So I'm just imagining a principal in a small school, offering even the 30 electives might be a challenge for that principal. I just want to be sure that at the end of the day, they have to be college ready. And I don't want a scenario wherein HEIs will say, ay hindi pa lang college ready kasi electives kulang or maling electives kinuha or electives nila ay hindi tama, no? And then papasok na naman tayo dun sa bridging program. And then again, the problems will probably be the same as what we are experiencing now. So that's where I'm coming from, no? The intention and the implementation is wildly different, and we have to learn from the common mistake of the current curriculum right now, no? So yeah, go ahead, Yusek.
We think that the core subjects would be able to cover most of the college readiness, but it wouldn't be enough, especially for, let's say, highly technical college degrees, just like engineering. So, ang susunod na level po na gagawin namin dito sa electives, we're offering schools a list of the most important electives that could cover many of the courses in college. Yung mga halimbawa walang mga licensure examinations, yung mga ganong degrees. Kasi iba-iba ang iba yung college readiness ng isang engineer, college readiness ng isang maglolo, isang magdodoktor. Pero may mga courses naman na kayang i-cover ng fewer electives na yun ang ibibigay namin sa schools. And that's an exercise that we're doing tomorrow to prepare the most. Hindi ko kasi alam kung tama yung terminology, but for now, the most important electives that could cut across different degrees in college.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, just to further the points that you made earlier, for example, we're looking at the 70% of small schools. The average student body there is less than 440. Assuming you have 40 students for 10 sections and 5 sections each for grades 11 and 12, and assuming that for grade 11, they will be focused on the core courses, meaning 5 sections of electives, who will undertake electives, realistically, how much resources will DepEd allocate to ensure available electives for these 5 sections for 70% of the small schools? Will you, as you said earlier, out of the 40, 36? Out of the 36, ilan po yung realistically pwedeng i-offer at magbayad, mag-hire ng faculty, mag-allocate ng resources to make sure na kaya nating gawin yun for a school with only 5 sections of grade 12? Hindi ba? Kasi pag yun yung isipin natin, tapos titingnan natin yung 36, kung meron pong gustong mag-nurse, may gustong mag-criminology, may gustong mag-literature, may gustong mag-communication, what mix might cross-cut the different needs of these students? Kaya nga po, nung inaaral namin yung 36 units, tapos kung paano ba siya pwedeng paghati-hatiin, parang bumabalik kami sa conceptual framework niya. Para saan siya? Kasi kung may core courses tayo that are supposed to make them college ready, are the electives meant to allow them to explore different skills, different competencies based on their interests? Is it supposed to prepare them better for specific courses? Kasi magkaiba po yun. At kung yung latter yun, kung titingnan natin yung mga PSGs ng CHED, parang hindi rin po ganoong kalinaw kung paano niya ihahanda yung bata ng mas mabuti sa mga kursong alam natin na pinakapopular. Kasi pag tinignan nga po natin yung teacher education, business ad, public ad, nursing, criminology, which are the top maybe 70% of all college students, hindi ko po makita necessarily yung relationship. For example, kung ako pong mag-nursing, tulad na ng binanggit ko kanina, yung aaralin po nila is nutrition, pharmacology, research, community health. How will you enrich my knowledge at senior high school with courses like Earth and Space Science, database management? Parang saan talaga yung correspondence? What is the intention? What is the expected outcomes that determine the number and also the clusters based on what we know students pursue in college? Yun po yung question. And what is realistic based on that 70% are small schools, 5 sections at grade 12? Thank you.
Yusek, you might want
Sir, that's an area that we really need to work very, very closely with CHED. Just like what I said earlier, we need to sit down so that we know the prerequisites in college. So what we've done is to offer a menu of electives for students, considering the choices of our students, okay, and considering our human resource, our teachers, because they've been teaching most of these subjects in the past. Okay? It doesn't mean that we're ending our electives with the number that we have right now, because there are emerging industries, okay, and there are other possible electives that could be addressed in the senior high school before students go to college. But the next thing that needs to be done is to really map out what are the prerequisites before a student can take a nursing course, a medicine course, an engineering course. Okay? Just the basic prerequisites, so that when we provide guidance to our students, okay, these are the courses that they're going to offer, and these are the courses that they will take, and these are the courses that will be offered in school. So, ganun po yung, there will be a lot of iterations on this. Kaya nga hindi namin siya kayang gawin kaagad ngayong pilot, o ngayong school year. That's why we need to pilot, we need to iterate, we need to keep reiterating, the process, the electives, career guidance, planning for school heads. And it's not a simple process.
Dr. Fermin, you want
Yeah.
to